Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we will be looking on array and object destructuring and how it is very helpful when it comes to JavaScript and most of the JavaScript framework applications. So if you take React, I think object destructuring is heavily used, and it will make your life much more easier when it comes to destructuring your objects and arrays. So without further ado, let's get started. So in this particular video, so we will be looking of destructuring of arrays and also destructuring of objects. So before first, we will start with an array. Okay, just uncomment what I've written. I have two arrays of one of alphabets and one of digits, and it has some strings and some numbers respectively inside that array. So what I want to do is, now if I want to console.log or get some values, what I need to do is I need to do const a is equal to alphabets of 0. Consider that I want to get the first value, and const b is equal to alphabets of 1, right? So now if I do console.log of a and then console.log of b, if I save it and if I go here, all good. I'm getting the first value and the second value of my array, uh, which is not a strange thing, right? We already know it. So now, if I want to destructure this, how I can do is, let me just comment this off so that you guys can see that. What I can do is I can write const, and it's an array, right? It's an array, and I'm pulling that from my alphabets array. Okay, const, I'm pulling some data from that particular array, and what I want here is I want a and b value, right? So a comma b. So this one line is equal to these two lines. So what are you doing? From this alphabets array, I am pulling out a variable a and b, which will point to my array alphabets array over here. If I go here and if I see, now I'm still getting a and b as it was. Okay, so this is a destructured array from where you want to destructure the source, and from there you are pulling out two variables and assigning it inside an array. So what will a do? A will point to this value, and what will b do? B will point to this particular value. So if you want, we can see that in digits also. Copy paste. If I want a comma b, and if I do digits, right? If I save it, if I go, oops, sorry, a has been already declared. I have to just comment this off. If I go here, and now I'm getting 1 and 2, right? So that's how we can do destructuring. It's much more simple. It's much more easier when it comes to destructuring here. Now I want the third value, right? A comma b comma c, and if I do save it, and if I just console.log of c, right? If I save it, if I go back here, I'm getting a, b, and c. Great. So now if I come back here and I don't want b, okay, I don't want b, I can just remove it off and keep that particular string, keep that particular variable out there and just have the comma. So now I'll get a and c. Okay, so this is how you can do in terms of destructuring. So now if I keep this b here, right, if I keep this b and I want rest of all the other values, so what I can do is I can make use of something called as spread operator. So what this spread operator will do is it will make a copy of whatever it is there after c, and you can access it over here. So I can do is I can do a three dot, I can just write rest, right? So now if I do a console.log of rest, so what I will get is, so what I'll get is if I go here and if I save, I'll get a, b, c, and then I'll be getting the rest of my array, that is d, e, and f. So which is again an array of these three values, and I'm accessing that values with something called as a spread operator. Okay, now if I want to concatenate two arrays, what I can do is, right, yes, I will do const, I can say new array if I want. So what this will do is this will just drop three arrays, I mean the alphabet, comma, and again digits. Now if I console.log new array, if I go here, I'm getting a concatenation of two arrays. So if I am getting the one array and included with the other array. Okay. So this is about array destructuring. I hope this was helpful for you, because array destructuring is really, really important in few occasions, but the most of its use cases are in object destructuring. So we'll look a small function here, and then we'll go for object destructuring. I'll look a function. So I'll take a function which will add and multiply. Okay. Add and multiply. So I'll take two values, a and b. So what I need to do is I need to return a value, return an array, basically, which will add a plus b, right? Which will add a plus b and multiply a into b. Multiply a and b. I'll call the function add and multiply and pass 2 comma 3, and just check. You need to console.log. Yes, I need to console.log of. Okay, now if I save it, if I go here, I'll get 5 and 6 as the array values, right? So now what I can do is I can just do small destructuring over here and try to explain you what's happening. I can just do is const sum is equal to add and multiply and pass the values 2 comma 3, and then I can do a console.log of sum, and this will again give me the same answer, right? But I can do a destructuring here. What I can do is I can keep it as an array, right? And I can just call it as sum comma multiply, right? Sum comma multiply. And if I want to console.log sum, and if I want to console.log of multiply, you guessed it, right? Right? So if I go here, I'll get 5 and 6. Now I can pass the default values. So if I want to do divide is equal to no divisions yet. If I do that, and if I save this, I'll get a value. Sorry, I have to console.log that. So console.log of divide. If I do, if I save this and if I go back here, I'll get no divisions yet. But if I do a divided by b, and if I save it, I come here, I'll get that particular value 0.666. So you can assign the default value. You can assign the default values, but if you don't have a particular functionality to do that, then you can pass it will pass the default value. But if you have a certain functionalities, that functionalities will be made use of. This is in functions how you can do. And next, the important part I feel of object destructuring. So this is really, really important. So nothing else, guys. I have two objects. One is person1 and person2, and each object will have a name, age, favorite food. Okay, I'll just remove this favorite food for the time being. I'll tell you how can I use that. Then an address, name, age, address. Okay, so this is two objects I have. So what I can do is basically how can I access a particular value, create an object, then make using the dot operators you can access that particular value. But if I want to destructure that, when you're destructuring an object, you have to use curly braces. So if I do name and age is equal to person1, that means from this particular object I'm accessing name and age. That's the outcome here. If I do a console.log of name, right, and if I do a console.log of age, right, so if I save this and if I go back, I'll get the name Gaurav Kamath and age 27, and that's what I'm getting, the name and the age. Now if I want to add his favorite food, right, favorite food, we'll say it as rice and dal. Okay, that might be his favorite food. So now if I save this And if I console.log, right, we all know what will happen here. Favorite food, and if I save and if I go here, I'll get his favorite food as rice and dal. So that's cool. That's cool. But if I add favorite food down here, right? Favorite food and pass the value as what to say, chips, okay, and save it, you will get chips. So the value inside that object will overflow the default value where you call in the destructuring. So this is something which you have to take care or take care about, right? So now I can pass this name and I can assign it as first name. Okay, I'm assigning it as first name, and then I'm calling that first name here and check what will happen. First name is not defined. Okay, it should be colon, right? It should be colon. Yeah, I'm getting that name Gaurav Kamath again. So I'm getting that name back. I can alias this particular value to another variable and call that particular variable. Now if I want to give a name called as money, right, and just comment this off, right, save this, and if I go back here, I'll get the name as money. So this is how you can destructure. This is the importance of destructure, how you can assign some other variables and assign some other values to that particular variable and try to get out of that. So now I'll just remove this, and if I want to get all that particular value, if I want to get all the other properties inside that particular object, as you all know, we can just make use of spread operator. So three dots and a rest, and what I can do is I can just remove all these and just console.log of rest, right? And if I save this and if I go back, I'll get name and I'll get an object of the age, favorite food, and my address. Great. So I'm doing a great progress here. So the next thing is, if I want to get the address out of it, okay, an address is again an inner object. So how can I get the address? Address, again destructure it and try to get the city, right? And if I want to console.log of city, let me see what I'll get. I'll go back, I'll get Mangalore. So this is how destructuring has been done. Since address is an object inside a person object, get that particular address and destructure it again as we destructured the main object, destructure it again and try to get the city. That's how you can do city or address in terms of that, right? So now let me just create a function here, okay? Just let's create a function. This I think will be the highest use case. So if I want to write the print user, if I want to print the user name, what I can do is it will take a user parameter, right? And now if I do a console.log of user, right? And then if I call that particular function print user and pass the second value of person 2, so what it will get. So save it, and if I go back here, I'm getting that particular object back of Rakesh NK. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. So now if I want to console.log it a destructured way, so my name is user.name. So user is an object, we are pointing that user to an object, and I am user.age years old. Save it. If I go back, I'm getting my name is Rakesh NK and I'm 30 years old. Great. But when we are destructuring, we can directly type the name and the age, okay? And I have to make sure that it's inside a curly braces. So I'm destructuring the name and the age, then I don't require this user parameter. I can just type name and name and age. So this name and this age is the destructured property of whatever parameters you are passing. Okay, it is similar to the user.name and user.age when you are passing user. So we are destructuring name and age from that user object or user parameter, and then we are explicitly typing the name and age. So if I save this, and if I save this and if I go back and if I save here, and now I'll get my name is Rakesh NK and I am 30 years old the same way. Okay. So guys, so this is what I'm trying to tell here. So what I want to do is, this is how simple destructuring is. So this is how we can make sure that destructuring is very important in high applications like React. Okay. So with that note, I'll get back to you with some other cool videos of JavaScript so that we can communicate further. Okay. Till then, stay safe and happy learning.